Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today's video is going to be showing you how to make a Tunisian crochet Entrelac in the round blanket. I'm sorry if this setup isn't brilliant. We've recently relocated to Dubai and we're still kind of getting settled and finding our feet, so I don't actually know where my tripod is at the moment, so I'm kind of balancing you on the breakfast bar. So I'm hoping this will be good enough because I really wanted to make a video for you guys because I haven't done one for ages. So I'm hoping the field of vision's going to be large enough when we get going. I think it should be if I stay like this, so I hope it's okay. So just a couple of bits you need to know before you get started. Firstly, I'm using DK double knit yarn weight, and a general rule of thumb with Tunisian crochet is you need to use a hook size 2 sizes larger than you'd normally use. So for DK personally, I'd normally use a 4mm hook. So in this case, I'm actually using a 6mm hook because it's quite a loosely worked stitch, and if it's a really small hook, it's gonna just completely curl up and be too tight. So yeah, you need to find whatever hook suits you. So if you normally use a 4.5, go for a 6.5, etc, etc. If you crochet really tightly, you might even want to do, say if you'd normally use a 4.5, maybe you'd want to go for 2.5 sizes bigger, so like a 7mm. But I'll leave that entirely up to you, but that's my general rule of thumb, is 2 sizes bigger. And just to get down to the basics of how we start our foundation chain. So we're going to start with a slip knot on your hook, and a word of advice regarding your starting chain with Entrelac in the round. It needs to be multiples of 10. If you do just 10, that's going to give you, because we're working in the round, that's going to give you one central diamond. So as it grows, it's always going to be a square. If you want a rectangle blanket, you need to do 2, 3 or more diamonds. I generally go by the idea that 2 diamonds is kind of a good pram cot size blanket, kind of growth wise, and the rectangle shape it gives you. 3 diamonds is more of a kind of adult sized Afghan, a large kind of one for a sofa or a bed, etc. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to do 2 diamonds because I don't want it to be too big and take ages to show you the next steps. But if you're going for a larger blanket, just simply add another multiple of 10 to give you a 3rd diamond, etc, etc. If you want to go for 4 diamonds or bigger because you want a really huge blanket, go for it. But obviously remember that the more diamonds you add in your centerpiece, you're only really making the blanket longer, not wider. So the more diamonds you do, the longer it's going to be, but not the width wise. So you're just making it an elongated blanket. But that's again entirely up to you what you want to achieve from this. So without further ado, I hope that's all made sense. Any questions, let me know. We're going to start off. So as I say, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do 2 diamonds. So that means we want to start off chaining 20. So 1, 2, yarn over and just pull through for your chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm just kind of realising that possibly this background's a bit jazzy, but I hope with the purple yarn it's okay. So please bear with me. We have a chain of 20 here, so that's going to give us 2 diamonds. Now to start with, whatever your multiple of 10 is, you then add 1. So we're going to have a total of 21 chains. If you're doing 3 diamonds, you'll have 31, 4 diamonds, 41, etc, etc. So we've now got 21 chains. and we're going to create our first diamond. So what you're going to do is put your hook through the second chain, okay, through the second chain space. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. So you've now got 2 loops on your hook. You're going to do that 5 more times, sorry. So insert your hook then into the third chain, yarn over and pull through. You've now got 3. Keep going along the chains until you have 7 loops on your hook. So that gives us 4, that gives us 5, that gives us 6, and that gives us 7. This hook's not brilliant for Tunisian crochet. It's the only one I could find in our unpacking. Probably could have done with a longer one, but it just fits. So as I say, we've got 7 chains on our hook. We're now going to work them off, and this is where the Tunisian simple stitch comes in. So we're going to work them off 2 at a time. So you want to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over again, pull through the next 2. Yarn over, pull through the next 2. Yarn over, pull through the next 2, and just keep doing that in 2s until you've got your last 2. Pull through those, and that is your first row of Tunisian simple stitch worked. Okay, so this is where it's now completely alien and different to a normal crochet if it wasn't already. So obviously normally in crochet you'd have your chains across the top and you'd just insert into the next one and work along one at a time, but obviously Tunisian crochet is worked in a line at a time, so it's different. So we're actually going to look at the front of the work for these vertical bars that you can see, like here. Hopefully you can see that all the way along across the front of it there's these vertical bars. These are what we're going to be inserting into and lifting our yarn up through. So there's one directly under the yarn on our hook. You're not using that one, you're going to go on to the next one here. So there's 5 bars across the front, we're picking up in all 5. So insert your hook into technically the second bar, because as I say we're ignoring the one directly under our stitch and going into the next one. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then you're going to go into the next bar, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up. So you've now got 3 hoops. Into the next one, yarn over, pull up. The next one, yarn over, pull up. And then the last one, yarn over, pull up. So that gives you a total of 6 hoops, 6 stitches on your hook. Now, because we're trying to make a square, we're trying to make our diamond, we then pick up 1 through the next available chain space. So that one's already been worked into from the last round. So this one's the one we want to go into. So insert the hook into the next available chain, yarn over and pull through 1 there as well. So we've now got our desired 7 chains on our hook. And then we're simply working them off in 2s again like we did last time. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And that has given us our second line on our diamond so far. Okay, and our diamonds are going to be made up of 5 rows. So that means we need to do this same step 3 more times. So I'll show you it again. It's a bit faster this time. So we're just going into the first vertical bar, not the one directly underneath where our chain is, but the next one along. We're going to pick up 5 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we have a total of 6 stitches in our hook. Then we go to this side chain, our chain 20, and we pick up one from the next empty chain as well. So insert, yarn over, pull through. That's given us our 7 loops on the hook, and then we work them off in 2s again. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so we've now got 3 rows of bars. That's 3 rows of our diamond, which I've told you needs to be a total of 5 rows of bars. So I'm going to repeat this process 2 more times, and then I will come back to you. So I'll just quickly whiz through that and speed this up. Okay, here we go. So we have now got our diamond or our square, whatever you want to call it. We have 5 rows of bars to that. The next step is going to be binding off this diamond, ready to start the next one. So all we're going to do is simply work off 1 bar at a time. So the one that we'd normally pull up a loop from now, the one next to the one where our chain's on, so the next one along, we literally yarn over and pull through, but rather than then moving on and pulling up the next one, we're actually going to simply just slip stitch that off. So we've closed off that stitch. So let me show you again. Go into the next bar along, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on your hook as well. So you're actually binding off that stitch. So you're just slip stitching along the 5 bars across the front. So we'll do that 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, and lastly we want to slip stitch in the last chain that we worked into on the side. So you can see we've got a stitch into that one, so we're going to slip stitch into there just to simply bind off, and that diamond is now complete. All 4 edges are sealed and we can move on from that. So we've obviously still got enough chains to carry on and make our second diamond. So we're literally going to start off doing the same process again like we did for this one. So we are going to pick up 6 empty chains. So we're going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lastly 6. So that's given us our desired 7 chains on our hook. And like last round, we're now just going to start working those off in 2s. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Okay, we're now going to again repeat the process. We're going to start working these front bars, so ignore the one that's directly underneath our chain here. Go into the next bar, front bar along, yarn over, pull up. Do this 4 more times, so that would give us 6 loops on our hook. Okay, so there's our 6 chains, and then we're going to lastly pick up from the next empty chain along here. Okay, so we've got 7 loops on our hook. Work them off in 2s. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Okay, repeat the process 3 more times so that we get our 5 barred rows. So we'll go along, pick up from the 5 bars on the front, and pick up the next available chain along. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've now got 3 rows to our second diamond. We've got 2 more to go, and you should have 2 empty chains left on the side here, so that's perfect. That gives us our 5 rows. So we've got to do 2 more. We'll pick up the 5 bars across the front. Two, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. There's 4 rows. So we have 1 more to go, and 1 last empty chain should be left at the side. So we'll pick up our 5 hoops, loops, hoops, chains, whatever. There's our 6, 7th one in the last chain from the hook. Work them off in 2s. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then the last step, like we did with the first one, is going to be binding off across the top with our slip stitches. So we go into the bar, slip stitch, go into the next bar, slip stitch, go into the next bar, slip stitch, next one, slip stitch, next one, slip stitch, and then lastly a slip stitch in the last chain on the side just to finish that row off. And there you have it. You've got your first 2 diamonds that you want to make sure you don't get twisted up in the middle there. You've got your first 2 diamonds of your Afghan. So go and get the kettle on, have a break, and I will be back with the second part to show you how to add the next colour in the round and work off the corners. Be right back.